All right, guys, it's that time of year. It's January. We're in the off season, so I decided I was going to try some new arrows this year. Really, for no reason at all. My Victory Rip TKOs work just fine, but I've been dying to try some micro diameter arrows, so I picked up a set of the Easton long range 4mm arrows in a 300 spine. I've already built one, but I want to take you through the process. So let's jump in, and I'll show you how I built some arrows. All right, guys, so the first thing I like to do is get my arrows marked and get them all cut. So what I do is knock a blank shaft, draw my bow to full draw, and have a buddy or my wife mark my arrow flush with my riser with a silver Sharpie. Then I'll take all my arrows, mark them, get them cut, clean out the inside of the arrow with some alcohol and a Q-tip, get my inserts installed, slap a wrap on. I like wraps because if you want to switch colors or if you lose a fletching, you can peel your wrap off and start fresh after you clean it up. So I'll get my arrows cut, throw the inserts in, slap on a wrap, and then either 3-fletch or 4-fletch the arrow, and they're ready to go. So let's get these arrows cut, and I'll take you through the rest of the process. All right, guys, so I use the Revolution arrow saw. It's a great saw. It's got a tape measure built in. It's got a squaring tool built in. So it makes it real simple to make these cuts. All right, guys, so we got those 5 arrows cut. What I like to do next is grab some denatured alcohol from your hardware store. This stuff lasts a long time. And then soak some Q-tips in it. And you'll see that there's a ton of carbon that gets left behind after you make your cut. So it's a little tight with these 4 mils, but you'll see that there's a lot of carbon in there. So I like to clean that out and then let the arrows air dry for a few minutes, and then I'll slap my inserts in. All right, guys, arrows are clean, so it's time to throw in the inserts. I'm gonna try these half outs from Easton, the stainless steel, 95 grains a piece. It's gonna give me some good FOC. We should be right around like that 15% mark. And I like to glue my inserts in with this AAE Max Impact glue. This stuff's awesome. It's gonna give you like 30 seconds to get your insert twisted in and kind of shift it around, and then it sets up pretty quick. So you can shoot arrows, within like an hour or two of getting them built, which is nice. So let's slap some inserts in, and then we'll get the arrows fletched. All right, guys, you just kind of want to evenly cover the insert and then twist it in to make sure we get good coverage on our glue, and then we'll be set up. And then you definitely want to keep a paper towel around to get the excess glue off. All right, guys, we got all of our inserts in. Now what I like to do before I start, you can go back and knock tune all your arrows. I'm not gonna do that. These are the match grades, and I'm not that worried about it. So what I like to do is I'm gonna throw these arrows on my bow that's behind me real quick, and I'll run that Easton logo just straight up and down. That'll be right in line with my odd color vein. That's the process I like to use, just to keep kind of all my stuff nice and uniform. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can try to find the spine. I've heard many different opinions on these arrows. Some people say you don't need to spine align them. Some people say you do. So just kind of personal preference there. I'm not going to do that on this set. So I'll get that done, and then we'll slap on some wraps and throw some fletchings on. All right, guys, we got all of our inserts in and our arrows lined up just how I like them. So now I'm going to slap these wraps on. Real simple process. Peel one off at a time, lay it on a rubber mat you can pick up from any archery shop pretty much, and then just roll them on. So we'll do these real quick and then it'll be time to slap some fletchings on. All right, guys, we got all of our wraps on, so it's time to toss the fletchings on and then we'll be done with these arrows. Today I'm going to use the AAE Max Stealth fletchings. Primer pen, this will make sure your fletchings don't come off. And then the AAE Max Spawn glue. I'm also going to use the Bitzenberger jig today. I kind of bounce back and forth between the Bitzenberger and this Arizona Easy Fletch. These put some serious twist on your fletching. So today I'm going to go with a 3 fletch on the Bitzenberger and see how these things fly. That's the beauty of having the wrap on. If I don't like the way they fly, I can peel them off real quick, throw a 4 fletch on, try the Arizona Easy Fletch, just kind of go back and forth until I figure out which configuration I like the best. So I'm going to start with the left helical clamp on a 3 fletch, and I like to mark my clamp with a Sharpie. I use that second tick in. That just keeps me consistent, so all my arrows are very similar in my quiver. So let's throw some fletchings on and see how these things fly. All right, so basically what you're going to want to do is shake up your primer pen, pull the cap off obviously, and then poke it on your table to make sure you got some liquid coming out of the tip. And then you just want to apply this primer pen to your fletching, which I should have started with the green one. We'll go back to the green one. This is going to be my odd color vein. Apply the primer pen to the fletching where you're going to put your glue. Then we will grab our clamp, throw the fletching in the clamp and line it up with that Sharpie mark just to keep my fletchings consistent. And then we're going to slap on some glue. You don't need to get carried away with this, just a nice thin line down the entire fletching. And then you always want to have some Q-tips handy to get the excess glue off, to keep everything nice and clean. We got our glue on, and then we're going to slap this baby on here. So magnet, I slide the clamp all the way back and then push down, nice even pressure, and then we're just going to let that sit here for 5 to 10 seconds. We'll grab a Q-tip and then repeat the process. So usually kind of when I'm waiting for this to dry, I'll just take my primer pen and get the next fletching ready. All right, pop the clamp off and then we'll rotate it and just repeat the process. It's nice to have some music on or maybe a YouTube video in the background of some hunting or whatnot, because this takes some time. That's one thing that's nice about that Arizona Easy Fletch, is it's pretty quick to slap some arrows together, but the Bitzenberger is a little bit more precise, and it's kind of what I prefer. Repeat the process, slide the clamp all the way back, and then push the clamp down, applying even pressure. And one more time. I have no idea what's in this pen, but if you don't use it, your fletchings will come off. All right, there's one arrow. Give that a few seconds, we'll pop it out of the jig, and then I'll take this Q-tip here and I get the excess glue off, and this arrow will be done, ready to shoot. You can see probably in the camera there's some excess glue on the edges of the fletching, so I'll just take the Q-tip and run it down the edges here. Clean this bad boy up. And there you go. This arrow is done. Thing of beauty. Should be able to find that if I miss. That's pretty bright. And the stainless steel insert, outsert, whatever you want to call it, half out. I'm interested to see how long these things hold up. From what I've read, they're pretty solid, so looking forward to shooting these things. All right, guys, so that's it. That's how you build an arrow. Doesn't take very long. Once you get the hang of it, you can knock out a dozen pretty quick. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Oh yeah, and check out, we got some new swag in the shop, so if you're interested in supporting the Mountain to Coast YouTube channel, hop on the shop and check out some of our hats and sweatshirts and t-shirts. And if you have any questions on this arrow or any of these components or the saw or anything, the jig, leave them in the comments below and I'll do what I can to help you out. Thanks for watching.